According to Kanye West, rap is the new rock and roll. He says that rappers are the rock stars of this age, and he adds that it's been like that for a minute. West goes on to say that he is the biggest star of them all. That bit is up for debate. However, after 2 surveys of college students, more and more rap artists are showing up on the list as influential musicians. Also, we are finding that students are reporting that rap and hip hop songs define a generation. With that in mind, let's take a quick look at how some people define the origins of rap. The late artist Lou Reed once referred to himself as the original rapper. Many people give credence to that self-moniker based on the fact that in 1973 he had a hit that reached number 16 on the charts with Walk on the Wild Side, which is basically a talking song. Rap purists and others recognize the Sugar Hill Gang as the first group to really bring rap to the mainstream with their hit A Rapper's Delight. It reached number 36 on the charts, not as high as Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side. However, it did cross genres from pop and R&B. It was also arguably one of the first songs to sample music from another song. This song is also in the Library of Congress. Rolling Stone and others recognize the piece as one of the most influential bits of music in the history of American music. Here's the piece that really makes looking for the original rap song interesting. The new wave dance band Blondie from the late 70s through the 80s had a song called Rapture. It begins with Debbie Harry singing, then she goes on to rap, and she raps for the remainder of the song. This song reached number 1 on the pop charts, and most people will agree in the music industry that this was the very first number 1 hit that is in the rap genre. However, it does not come from a rap band. As we think about rap as a genre, which provides an alternate voice style where the lead is not singing so much so as in pop music or rock and roll, where there's a talking or there's sort of a cadence of the voice. We've seen some information about who released records early, who was successful with Lou Reed, the Sugar Hill Gang, and Blondie. But even before those guys, in Britain, Ian Dury and the Blockheads had a big hit with Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick. In 1978, their song reached number 3. So if we're going to be hardcore about this and look outside the parameters of the United States, perhaps this is the original rap song. As a social scientist, there are many categories to consider, even when trying to pinpoint an original rap song. With that said, and in fairness to the genre, one needs to tip their hat to Run DMC. And that's because the way the academics and people in the music industry collect data, these guys are the first to do a lot of things. They're the first to have multi-platinum albums. They're first to get a contract endorsement from an outside of music group from Adidas. They made the cover of Rolling Stone. They really sort of broke ground in just about every area that you could imagine as rap artists. Many people recognize them as leaders in the field, including current rappers. They really reached their peak in the mid-'80s. Their highest chart was number 4 with Walk This Way, which was a pure cover, not a sampling. It was a pure cover of Aerosmith's song, which also included Steven Tyler and Joe Perry in the song and in the video. Given all the work that we did on the original rap song, it's worth thinking about the movement. Where did rap come from? Some people think it's from the Deep South, others say Harlem, others say Brooklyn. There's a large contingency of folks in the academy and in the music industry and within rappers in the music industry these days who will say that the idea of rap comes from H. Rap Brown, who was a civil rights activist in the 60s. And his style of talk and then using a rhyme and rhythm sort of led to the movement of that which people called rap then at that time and nicknamed him Rap Brown, and then that name rap carried forth into that genre of music. He began his work with the SNCC in the 60s. He did some work with the Black Panthers. In 1971, he was incarcerated. He embraced Islam and changed his name to Jamil Abdullah Alameen. And at present, he is incarcerated once again and in bad health in North Carolina. I came upon this idea accidentally, and I'd suggest it to you now. I was doing research on African American Islam and the freedom struggle during the 60s. And much like mentioned the previous slide, H. Rap Brown was very much engaged in that. His style of public speaking became widely appreciated. Again, he got nicknamed Rap. That name carried over to what is the genre of music that we know today. But there are others, and I suggest this as well, that perhaps the person who really brought that style of speaking and the use of the voice to the mainstream was Cassius Clay, who later was, after embracing Islam, became Muhammad Ali. And we all know the float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. There's so many more. Muhammad Ali actually was a regular poet. He wrote a good deal of poetry. He recorded a couple of spoken word albums. I think one or maybe both of them received Grammy nominations. You can see a lot of information about his poetry at the Muhammad Ali Center in Louisville, Kentucky. He wrote some very good stuff. It's very, very interesting. I encourage you to take a peek at that. So as we look at the origins of rap, we've looked at who was the first rapper, who had the first big rap song, who had the first #1 rap song, who probably had the first rap song in the world, which was in the UK and not the United States. Rap Brown probably made it famous, but I'll suggest to you that Muhammad Ali started that style of talk and that style of encouraging audiences in the United States. Thanks for listening to this podcast. I'm Tom. Hope you'll check out some more.